Hi, my name is Beth Heidorn. I'm the Executive Director here at the Racine Zoo. But I haven't always been here, so I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. First of all, a lot of people ask me, wow, you must have a fascinating job. How did you get into zoos and aquariums? Well, as my mom used to say, I grew up in one, so I might as well work in one. That was the kind of joke around our house. And I thought about it for a while, and I actually thought, you know what, that is really what I wanted to do when I was little. I was not one that was ever going to have a conventional job. I could never do a 9-to-5, but I really liked the outdoors. I liked getting my hands dirty. I liked exploring and looking around nature. So that's kind of what led me down this path. I grew up in this wonderful state of Minnesota, and I started off in working at zoos and aquariums as an unpaid intern. I was in college and I wanted to go somewhere for my January term, and that's what I did. I went to Como Zoo and I got to work as an intern with the director of the zoo, which really started me going down that path. Then I was fortunate enough to be at the Minnesota Zoo for almost 15 years. What was special about that is I got to work in all the different areas, and it was just a wonderful experience. But I was always part of the education team, and that's really where my passion started. I like doing the things. I had to shovel animal poop with an ice pick, so I thought, how can I still be in zoos and not have to do that? And the education and the conservation education, working with people, was really what made it intriguing for me. So after being at Minnesota Zoo, I actually moved across country and went to California to help open the Aquarium of the Pacific. I was a 7th employee, and wow, what an experience that was. Going from there, I went to LA Zoo. I stayed in California for a while, worked at an awesome place called Dolphin Quest, and then, yes, the San Diego Zoo. And that was San Diego Zoo Global, whereas I was up at the safari park. Then I kind of got my feet a little bit, started to walk a little bit, and I decided I wanted to go to Miami and work at a place called Jungle Island so I could start becoming a director. And I did that there, and then I was fortunate to come here to this wonderful zoo called Racine Zoo here. So that's a little bit about me. Now today you're going to learn what conservation education is all about and all of the wonderful staff that we have here, because getting people and inspiring people to be stewards of this planet is what we do, and that's always been my passion. Have a great episode.
The Racine Zoo is a nonprofit organization, and part of being a nonprofit and our mission here is to educate the public. When I tell people that I run an education department, a lot of people don't fully understand what that means. Everyone knows that a zoo sees lots of kids coming through on field trips, but they often don't realize how many other things happen in your average field trip season or in your average education department, because it's not just those field trips. For so many of those field trips, our education team does educational programming with live animals so that they can see them, touch them, get closer to them. But we have such a wide variety of other programming, from preschool classes where kids come in with their parents to start learning to empathize with wildlife from a young age, to programs like Conservation Nation and Nature Club, where we take families outside, out of the zoo, and actually get involved in nature. We do programs throughout our community at senior centers, at community centers, homeless shelters, women's shelters. Sometimes they're programs that are paid, but a lot of them are actually programs that are free. Every 3rd grade student in Racine Unified School District has come to our zoo every year for over 25 years to help reinforce concepts taught in the classroom. And this year we launched a new initiative through the AmeriCorps program, where we're actually expanding that to the entirety of Racine County for kindergartners, 3rd graders, 4th graders, 7th graders, and 9th graders. When we talk about education at the Racine Zoo, it's not just field trip groups. We have a team of 4 full-time educators and numerous seasonal and part-time educators that it takes to put on all of these programs. Our education department is always busy and always doing something amazing, and I'm so excited to share with you all of the wonderful programs that we do here.
My name is Brittany and I lead the preschool here at the Racine Zoo. Preschool started here in October of 2017. I started here as an intern and my intern project was to launch the preschool program. It did so well in its first couple months that we decided to keep it, where I grew here at the Racine Zoo. And so now we're going on our second year of preschool here and it's doing great. So our preschool classes are an hour long. They're on Sundays and Mondays, and they are for children 2.5 to 5. And what they do is they come and they get to really just interact with an animal. So each class is themed, but our main component about the class is animals. So they're going to learn about the animal. They're going to see how they walk, how they find food. They're going to see where they are in the food chain. They're going to learn their adaptations. They're going to learn where they live in the world. They're going to learn other animals that live with them. And then they're going to get to meet that animal and touch that animal and have that sensory with that animal. And then oftentimes they'll actually get to meet a zookeeper that also works with the animal, so that they get that added bonus of what do we do here with them at the zoo. So each class is revolved around that animal. We have each class themed, and then after we tie in other elements that are good for young children to learn with, and that would be music, that's art, and it's play. So we tie in music because the children learn great concepts with animal sounds, and they also learn language with music, so we tie in music. Then we also bring in play because that creates a concrete foundation for pretend play, and leading the children to learn how animals walk and move in their environments and things like that. So getting the children to actually do it is great for creating those concrete foundations. And then we always add in a little bit of art. Art's a great way for children to learn and get messy. So some of our favorite art projects that we'll do is when we did the farmyard, we did pigs and they actually got to paint with mud. And so those are really fun activities that we get to do where we get to bring in art, we get to bring in them using their hands, but we also get to add that educational factor with the animals. So art's always our fun component that we add. And then we have our class with parents or a guardian, and that creates a bond with our littles so that they get to learn. And then those moments that they make here and those memories they get to make here, they also get to go home and talk about everything they've learned and bring it home with them. And that just creates that better foundation for them when they go home. So we created this class here for preschoolers at the Racine Zoo because we really wanted to start teaching children at a young age to love animals and to want to conserve and protect them. Children are so captivated by animals at this age. They are blown away by them and they just love them. And we wanted to capture that sense of wonder so that we could build a relationship with them and a love for them so that when they grow up, they'll want to conserve and protect them. And so really that's our goal here, is just to teach them about the animals, let them love the animals, let them learn all they can so that when they become adults, they'll spend their life trying to live a life that will better the planet and to keep these animals around for a long time.
My name is Asia Summers, and I'm the Conservation Education Manager here at the Racine Zoo, which means that I oversee all of our educational programming. That's everything from exhibit signage to field trips to any time a member of the public is interacting with our animals. I started off actually as a volunteer at the Henry Vilas Zoo in Madison, and since then I worked at the North Carolina Aquarium at Pine Knoll Shores, the International Crane Foundation in Baraboo, Wisconsin, and the South Carolina Aquarium before coming here back home to Wisconsin to the Racine Zoo, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Running the education programs here has by far been the most rewarding part of my career. We're able to do so many creative programs, reach so many groups that may not have otherwise been reached by zoo education, and just generally have a lot of fun. The team here that we have in our education department is absolutely incredible. One of my favorite parts of our education department is actually our summer zoo camps. Zoo camp runs for 8 weeks through the summer, from right when school gets out in June until school goes back in August. And it's a 5-day, full-day camp, and our campers range in age from the 3-year-olds all the way up to the 7th graders. The 3-year-old camps are only 3 hours or so long because 3-year-olds are just learning how to be away from their parents and go out into the world. But even in that short camp, they're able to feed giraffes, do crafts, tell stories, have snacks, and get up close and personal with so many of our smaller animals here at the zoo as well. As they age up through the camps, we move into some of our other fun camps like Animal Olympiads and Weird Animal Oddities, up to our 6th and 7th grade camps, which are junior zookeeper camps. They help make enrichment for the animals, and they even go behind the scenes to clean out our rhino and giraffe barns. So that is a super fun camp, and the best part about it is that a lot of the kids that are in our 6th and 7th grade camps started camp when they were 3 years old, when they were in kindergarten, 1st grade. This program has been going for a long time, and it's really amazing to watch these kids grow. This is my 4th season of Racine Zoo Summer Camp, so I've known a lot of these kids for so many years. And by the time they're coming into that junior zookeeper camp, often they're actually teaching us about the animals because they know more about the history of the zoo and do just a fantastic job. In fact, in noticing that, we actually started a new program this year called the Summer Camp Volunteer Assistant Program. And this actually took 5 of those volunteers that have been here for a while and have a really great depth of knowledge about our animals. And we actually hired them on to help with our summer camps. So they come in and help with crafts, snack time, walking the kids around, and anything else the counselors may need, answering questions, sometimes that the counselors may not even know the answer to. And that's not only a really great addition for our campers to have extra people around and that resource, but it is such a great tool for those teens that have grown up with the zoo to be able to continue to grow in their responsibilities and utilize everything that they've learned over the years to continue teaching those camps. They always say that the best way to learn is by teaching, and that is absolutely true watching those teens grow this summer.
My name's Ryan Redsky, and I am the lead educator here at the Racine Zoo. And a little bit about myself, I actually started at the College of Lake County, and I got an Associate of Arts degree there. And I really was passionate about my artwork, but then I actually took a turn. I really like animals as well, and I went to the University of Wisconsin, Stevens Point, and there I actually pursued a degree in wildlife education, which is actually a really specific degree, and there were actually only 3 other people in my graduating class that had the same degree. During my time at Stevens Point, I did many internships. I did internships at the Boston School of Forests, the Central Wisconsin Environmental Center, and Smeakerley Reserve. So at those places, I did a lot of creating programs and presenting programs to different aged audiences. It was a really fun experience for me, for sure. It really got me into the education part of my job here. And I actually, after school, I was applying to a lot of different jobs and I wasn't getting much luck. And then I went to the Chicago Flower and Garden Show where I met my current boss, Asia Summers. Over time, she actually offered me a part-time conservation education position here at the Racine Zoo. And now I've been here for over 2 years now, and I moved my way up the totem pole, and now I am the lead conservation education specialist, which is a really fun thing to do. I really enjoy my job a lot. Some of the things I really like to do here, we do a lot of different programs. We do programs for field trip groups, so we offer discounted rates for field trips, and kids can come in larger groups and still get to meet some animals up close and a bit about them. We also do birthday party programs where we can even bring animals off-site to birthdays so people have a chance to meet these animals up close. We also do things like our wildlife explorers in the winter time. So we also do scout programs, which is a really fun thing. We help the scouts complete their badge requirements. We have Cub Scout programs, we have Girl Scout programs, we have Boy Scout programs. So lots of different programs that we offer for them as well. And we also do things even like off-site booths. And we travel really long distances with some of our animals for some of these programs. I've traveled as far as 2.5, maybe even 3 hours for programs. So we're reaching out to people even in central and southern Wisconsin. So lots of different program opportunities for sure. And one of my really favorite things about this job is actually getting the chance to kind of change people's opinion about some of these animals. Being in Racine County, a lot of these kids grow up and they are taught to be scared of things like cockroaches, snakes, and alligators. But when we bring these animals out into the classrooms, they actually get to at least gain a sort of appreciation for these animals. And that's really my favorite part about working here at the zoo. So we do offer really cool scout programs here at the zoo, and these programs are actually pretty long. They're about 2.5 hours, and we offer them at any time of the day. So we do have them even after zoo hours. And these are really fun programs because there's lots of activities involved where we get to meet some of these animals, even sometimes behind the scenes meet some of these animals, and we get to do lots of crafts. So we offer these all sorts of really fun scout programs, and we do complete all the requirements for these programs too. So they're a really fun experience for all the scouts. I just got the chance to launch these scout programs and I love them.
Here at the Racine Zoo, it's so important not just to get people up close and personal to our animals, but we really want families to want to get out and conserve animals in the wild and get closer to nature. Because of that, we started our free family programming series to get families engaged not just with the zoo, but with the environment and the world around us. One of our flagship programs for this is Conservation Nation, where every fall for 8 weeks we have families come in for free 2-hour programs where we have guest speakers from around the world. Some come in, some Skype in to talk about different conservation issues that are facing our community and our world. We then do crafts, games, and activities so that kids can comprehend these different conservation issues at their level. And we give each class different homework to go out and actually conserve in their backyards, from building bee hotels to picking up garbage on the beach. We also do a program called Racine Nature Club. Racine Nature Club brought together the 8 different environmental education organizations that are in the Racine area to do free outdoor education programming. From free canoe kayak trips at the rec center, the Root River Environmental Education Center, to doing outdoor education at Hawthorne Hollow with Hoy Audubon Society and so many other organizations. We're able to get parents who may not have been confident getting outside, getting muddy with their kids, to go in a canoe, to go catch frogs in the pond. All of these different really great activities that teach families to get messy and in a really fun way start to build that relationship with the environment for young kids. It's so important to engage people at the family level because that's how you build those conservation habits and the habits to get outside, be a part of nature, and raise the next generation to care about animals as much as we do.
Hi, my name is Cassie Meredith and I am a conservation education specialist here at the Racine Zoo. One of my roles is as the community outreach specialist, and what that means is that we got a grant through the Community Development Block Grant, which gave us funding to do free programs for low-income families around Racine. So I've designed a number of programs. I go once a month. We've gone to community shelters, homeless shelters, women's centers, as well as other places like that around Racine. And I get to do free programs for these families and kids. And they've been a ton of fun. I absolutely love doing them. Each month they get to meet new animals and there's a different theme. And we get to do crafts and activities and talk about a different topic relating to animals. And they've just been a ton of fun, and it's really cool to see the impact they make on these families who sometimes don't get an opportunity to go to the zoo or have these type of programs in their life. So it's been a really great time. Each month when we talk about a different theme, I try to focus it on a different type of animal adaptation. So one month we talked about camouflage, one month we talked about how animals move, we've talked about how animals can see, how they can hear and make sounds, we've talked about how they use their tails, and then we get to meet 4 different animal ambassadors of ours that pertain to that topic. So they get to meet these animals, they get to touch and ask questions and learn about them. And then sometimes it's really cool because they'll get to see the same animals for multiple months if that one animal has a really cool way of seeing and a really cool tail. It's really cool having them see the animals twice and seeing how much they remember and how much they've learned. And then we'll do crafts and games and activities pertaining to that topic as well. One of the things I really love about these programs is being able to see the impact it makes on the people, getting to see the same people month after month, especially the kids. It really means a lot to me showing how much I've impacted them. We bring our conservation messages and teach them not just about animals, but how they can help save them in the wild, and seeing how these people really respond to that. I have one little girl that I see every single month, and every month she falls in love with one of the animals. It might be a rabbit or a chinchilla. And when we make our craft at the end of the program, she always says, hey, can you give this to the rabbit, or hey, can you give this to the chinchilla? And so it's really cool seeing how much these guys are really affected by these programs.
Hi, my name is Elise Olmstead. I am the AmeriCorps Program Coordinator here at the Racine Zoo. Now here at the Racine Zoo, something that is very important to us is to build career development and making sure that kids in our community see the zoo field as a viable career option for them. One of the ways that we do this is by participating in the Career Discovery Solutions put on by Racine Rotary Club. Now we go to different schools and we talk to middle school students about the career in the zoo field, and we bring them to the zoo. They get to tour around the zoo, and then they do their own project where they develop a plan to bring an ambassador animal here at the zoo. We get to go back to school and watch them present the project. It's really fun, and it really introduces to students how to work at a zoo. Another program that I'm involved with is called GEMS, Girls Empowered by Math and Science, and this is also in Racine, getting girls in our community excited about a science field, and zoology is one of those. So teaching girls how to get involved in the zoo field as an option for them. That's something that's also very near and dear to my heart. And then one other thing that we do in the education department is through our AmeriCorps program. Our AmeriCorps program is involved with teaching kids about the zoo field and different kinds of sciences that can happen, such as birding, research, involvement with the Great Lakes, and making sure that kids get excited about protecting animals and conservation and seeing that as an option for them to build their career out of. We do lots of community involvement with our teachers in our schools here in Racine. Another option or another event that we do is Teacher Appreciation Night, where teachers get to come to the zoo and we tell them about all of our options, such as field trips for them during the year, and they get to see all of the things that they can do with their students through the zoo.
Hi, I'm Noah Harris. I was a conservation education intern here at the Racine Zoo. I graduated from Carroll University with a degree in animal behavior, and now currently I am an AmeriCorps team member here at the Racine Zoo. I really liked the conservation education internship. After doing it for a while, the education aspect was, it's not something I had done before, and I really enjoyed it. I really liked doing the school programs as well, and that's what really got me interested in the AmeriCorps program. It's really heavy on school programs, and I look forward to all the sort of programs that I'm going to be doing throughout the year and learning to work with more animals, and I'm really excited for it.
Hi, my name is Adam Weingarten. I am the AmeriCorps Ambassador Animal Coordinator here at the Racine Zoo. I have a couple of main jobs here at the zoo. My primary job is training the humans in the education department to handle the education animals, or what we call the ambassador animals. These are the animals that you're going to see if you visit the zoo and see an educator standing on the side of the sidewalk presenting an animal. These are the ambassadors, the representatives for their species that are specially desensitized and trained for these kinds of opportunities. So I make sure that humans know all the safety and handling protocols and everyone is staying consistent on those. My other job here at the zoo is to train the animals. Some of our animals are a little less trainable than others. Snakes, we just like to desensitize them to handling and to large groups of sometimes toddlers, sometimes adults. You never know. We want the snakes to be ready for everything. And then some of our more difficult ambassadors, like our kookaburra or our woodchuck, that need a lot more work with the positive reinforcement training, that also falls on me. Other than that, whatever needs help with the AmeriCorps program that we have at the zoo here, that's also my job. So I'm kind of a utility person around the department as well.
Racine Zoo, we have a program called Zurich Saturdays. These are one of my favorite parts of the education department, although you'll probably hear me say that a lot because I love most of our programs. But on Zurich Saturdays, we actually will have booths that pop up to focus on different animals. World Tiger Day, African Penguin Awareness Day, all sorts of different ones where we have crafts, games, and activities for kids so that they can jump in and learn more about these animals. Through these, we work to get donations through raffles, donations, and other ways to actually support different conservation organizations. And then this way, we're not only educating our guests about these animals, but helping to protect their counterparts in the wild as well.
As you can see by the amazing programs that are done here at this zoo, we are able to take conservation, education, and combine them. So we're able to touch the littlest of the people that we have with our preschool classes, and we don't discriminate. All ages are welcome to learn about conservation education. I have loved this business since 1982. I would have done nothing else but this job in this industry, because conservation education is incredibly important. If we're able to get people to understand to be stewards early in life, they're going to be lifelong conservationists and they're going to be lifelong stewards of the planet. So as you can see, come on out to the Racine Zoo. We have programs, both on-site and off-site, just tons and tons of things for you to engage yourself in conservation education. Remember, we are located at 2131 North Main Street, just north of downtown. Please come anytime. We welcome you. We are open year-round. Look forward to seeing you, especially on the next issue of Racine Zoo to You.